covering the entire Piedmont Triad and everywhere you are. This is WXII 12 News at 5.
Happening right now on WXII 12 News at 5. A lot to tell you on this Friday, including the latest on the ongoing food stamp dilemma in North Carolina and more on that massive fire on the Jersey Shore. But first, a neighborhood reacts after a push to bring another Walmart to a Triad community takes a step forward. If it gets final approval, it would be built north of Country Club Road and east of Meadowlark Drive. And that has residents in that neighborhood weighing in. Rob Wu has a story all new at 5 o'clock.
Wanda, anyone who lives around here can tell you the traffic here on Country Club and Meadowlark, it can be a nightmare during certain parts of the day. It's the big reason why some people oppose the development of this new Walmart, but it just so happens to be the reason why some support it. It's case W3200. The developer's plan to replace this wooded area on Country Club Road just east of Meadowlark Drive with a Walmart grocery store. At 41,000 square feet, the City County Planning Board says it is substantially smaller than most Walmarts, which can range up to 200,000 square feet. Residents protesting these plans say it's not necessary, nor worth the extra headache on the roads.
Number one, I don't know that we need another grocery store. There are at least 3 within a couple of miles of here, and I just think it's going to increase traffic terrifically.
Planned road improvements are supposed to offset that, including a dedicated right turn lane at the intersection of Country Club and Meadowlark Drive. Residents in support believe things are horrible now during certain hours, and it's hard to imagine how this won't help.
In general, I think it'll get our roads widened and traffic lights that we've been begging for around the school. I just think it's going to help us all the way around. I can't see it impacting our neighborhood other than for good.
City Council will hear the proposal the first Monday of October. I'm Rob Wu, WXII 12 News.
A huge announcement just coming down from NASCAR. Jeff Gordon has been added to the chase for the Sprint Cup Championship, expanding the field to 13 drivers for the first time since the format was put into place 10 years ago. This comes after the fallout from at least 2 attempts to manipulate the results of the season-ending race in Richmond last weekend. According to an Associated Press review of radio communications, Front Row Motorsports asked for a deal from Penske Racing at Richmond and then helped make sure Penske's Joey Logano made the chase field by having one of its drivers, David Gilliland, slow down. CEO Brian Franz said NASCAR could not determine a deal was made, but placed both teams on probation the rest of the season. Local food banks are feeling the pinch tonight after cuts in federal funding and also problems with the state's food stamp program. We get more on how they're getting by from David Janot in Davidson County.
For the thousands of people waiting on their food stamp benefits, food pantries like this one right here in Lexington have been the solution. Food banks across the state are putting in extra work, feeding thousands more because of issues with NC Fast, the state's computer system that processes food stamp benefits. 15,000 households in Davidson County receive those benefits each month, but Sergeant Les Ashby of the Salvation Army says he's helped some people who haven't seen their benefits in up to 2 months.
People just say, I don't know what I would do without the Salvation Army is giving me a box of food to last me for a week. The thing is taking care of our community and the children of our community, and we're just as thankful that we have the means and the food to do that.
Last year, the Salvation Army fed 14,000 people. So far this year, they've fed nearly 5,000 people who have been waiting on their food stamp benefits. And with all of the extra people coming in, volunteers say right now they need donations more than ever. In Lexington, I'm David Janot, WXII 12 News.
New tonight, a North Forsyth High School student has been arrested after bringing a gun on campus. School officials say 17-year-old Terrell Rowley brought the handgun to school. They say it was found in his car. The school was never placed on lockdown, and he has been charged with possession of a weapon on a school campus. Parents were notified around 11:30. The court appearance for suspended UNC basketball standout P.J. Hairston has been postponed until next month. He was set to face a judge today on a speeding charge in Durham County. Hairston, who's from Greensboro, was cited twice this summer while driving a rented car linked to a felon. Right now, several mountain communities in Colorado remain isolated after heavy flooding washed out roads and bridges. The deaths of 3 people are being blamed on that flooding, and right now the rain continues to fall as thousands of people remain without power.
Meanwhile, we are dealing with a lot of blue sky out there. Some fall-like air has arrived, and it's only going to get cooler as we head into the weekend. You're looking at downtown Mocksville with mostly sunny skies. It's going to be a terrific Friday evening. Let's check on temperatures across the area. In Greensboro right now, we are just a couple degrees below what is normal for a September afternoon. We're 80 degrees. We've got a nice north-northwest wind out there at about 10 miles an hour, keeping things very comfortable, but going to put a chill in the air once the sun goes down. 80 degrees as well in Winston-Salem with mostly sunny skies. Low humidity running in the 30 to 40% range out there right now as that dry air is settling in. 76 in Danbury, 75 in North Wilkesboro, and 78 right now in Martinsville. Here's your evening forecast. We'll be in the low 70s around 7 o'clock with that nice breeze out there. It is going to be a cool Friday night. We will see temperatures falling through the 60s. Lows are in the 40s and 50s. I'll be back with those details coming up.
Still no arrests in Winston-Salem's latest homicide. Police say 21-year-old Dante Ross was injured just after midnight on Ladera Crest Lane in a drive-by shooting. He died at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. Anyone with information on this case is urged to call police at number 727-2800. A local teacher who was murdered has been laid to rest. The funeral for 62-year-old Larissa Armstrong was held this afternoon in High Point. Police say Armstrong was shot and killed last month by her estranged husband, Bruce, on Adams Farm Parkway. They believe he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Armstrong was a teacher at Wellborn Academy of Science and Technology in High Point. A North Carolina middle school teacher was suspended for showing his class a music video that promotes marriage equality. The Alexander County School Board suspended the teacher for 3 days after he showed Macklemore's Same Love video, which shows a gay couple kissing at their wedding. Meanwhile, a transgender student at Edgecombe Community College says she is the victim of bullying. Jasmine Murphy was born a man but now identifies herself as a woman. She says she endures constant harassment, bullying, and death threats at the college. She says she even considered dropping out. She's now calling on the school to enact tougher anti-bullying policies.
Numerous people has threatened to kill me. Things are being thrown at me. Someone even spit at me. I want the school to have an anti-bully policy. I want to have zero tolerance for bullying. I want them to allow students to be themselves and to be who they are, you know, without other students harassing, bullying them, and torturing them while at school.
A spokesperson at the college says the school does not condone harassment of any kind. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says the massive fire that destroyed dozens of businesses along a popular Jersey Shore boardwalk is now 95% under control. Christie says it could still take days to completely extinguish the still smoldering remains. Firefighters say that fire started at an ice cream shop. 32 businesses along the 5 blocks of boardwalk were destroyed. Christie says the state always comes together in a time of crisis and vows to rebuild the stretch that was still under construction from Superstorm Sandy that hit nearly a year ago.
We have endured and begun to come back from the devastation of Sandy. We will not let these fires destroy those efforts. The state of New Jersey will stand with the local governments and the business owners to restart the rebuilding as soon as possible.
Heavy equipment is on standby to start moving the rubble once firefighters are finished. A homeowner's dog and cat were rescued last night from a burning home in Danville, Virginia. You are looking at pictures given to WXII 12 from Stephen Mantilla with the Danville Register and Bee. That fire broke out just before 4 on Forest Street. The homeowner was awakened by a neighbor who saw smoke coming from the home. Her dog and cat had to be resuscitated at the scene, and the newspaper reports the dog is in critical condition. Investigators say that fire was caused by unattended food on the stove. Flooding in July pushed it back, but tomorrow night it'll be a down and dirty good time for the family in Sparta. A portion of the proceeds from the annual Mud Sling will go to Relay for Life and the Memorial Fund for the 19 Arizona firefighters killed in the wildfire earlier this summer. It's happening tomorrow night at the Allegheny County Fairgrounds on Highway 21, and the show starts at 5 p.m. Right now, a busy road that has been under construction in Surrey County is back open. A stretch of Highway 89 had been closed from Low Gap to the Virginia state line since Monday as crews worked to realign a curve. It was expected to reopen next week, but crews completed the work ahead of schedule. It sounds like something out of the Disney film Up. A man from North Carolina attempted to cross the Atlantic using more than 300 helium-filled balloons. Jonathan Trapp of Raleigh took off on his journey yesterday from Caribou, Maine. He reported problems last night and ended up landing in Newfoundland. He landed safely and needed no medical attention. This photo is from 2011 when he became the first person to balloon across the French Alps. A lot of people are expected to try to cash in on the lottery this weekend. Currently, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot stands at $119 million, and tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot, $317 million. Ahead on WXII 12 News at 6, how buying a lottery ticket in North Carolina could soon get a lot easier. As the deadline for healthcare reform gets closer, how a new option in the triad could help answer your questions. That's coming up on WXII 12 News at 5.
Homeless in the Triad. I'm Nicole Duker, and coming up on WXII 12 News, we're going to take you inside a local homeless shelter and tell you why it's not just individuals who need help, it's entire families.
And howdy, folks. Kenny back live in East Bend for the high school playbook. Week 4 game of the week. The Forbush Falcons are ready to fly, and it's still kind of hot. That's going to be a sweaty costume in a couple of hours. We'll break down our Week 4 matchup, all new in our next half hour.